guys, Axelmyth here, and yeah, sorry for that. I thought it would have been pretty funny. Anyway, so I'm here with another vlog. So this time I don't have a ton of pickups, which I said might be a good thing, I guess. I don't know. It kind of depends on how you look at it. And I'm actually kind of gonna give an update of that. If you notice back here where my games usually are, you see the Stormtrooper helmet. I boxed them all up. They are all boxed up. It's kind of funny because it only took one box, and I think some of them are in, like, I have boxes right next to me stacked right on top of each other, and it's like all of my PS4 games basically lined up perfectly at the bottom, so it was just, you know, so I just kind of, I don't want to say threw some stuff on top of them because that just sounds horrible, but none of it was very heavy, so the games won't get damaged or anything. So yeah. So that's just kind of how that is. So with that said, because we are trying to move and stuff, I don't know that I'm going to start picking up too much more. I still have a few things that are coming in, and I can't really stop them from coming here. I'm going to kind of spoil a little bit. I ordered like 3 games from Unlimited Games. For those who don't know, when you pre-order stuff, you have to wait like 2 months after the pre-order is done to even get your stuff. And kind of kicking myself in the face for that, but at the same time, actually, come to think about it, I think it's 4. So I'm just kind of waiting for those to come in. And then I have 2 other things coming in, and that's actually going to, I'm hoping that that's going to be the video next week, is about that one, because I just got a confirmation today that it is coming in. Although I did get a few pickups within the last week, so I'm going to showcase them right here. Why did I leave my sabers here? Oh, okay, cut this out. Just gonna put them on the floor. Don't want them banging around because otherwise, you know, they're gonna get scratches, and no one wants that. Okay, so pickups. All right, so these first 2, I thought were really cool. I found them on the internet, and they're lightsaber blade plugs, and they're, you know, for like the Ultra Sabers, you know. You've seen this in my probably a previous video, and I also have it on my profile picture. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a close-up on them. Here's this one. It's got a little bit of a vent here. I don't know if you can see that too well. There we go. Yep, you can see that. It's got a little bit of vented area, and this tower is actually, it's actually pretty tall. I'm hoping that this one will fit inside the Graflex, which is the one I just showed you, by the way. But the tower might be too tall, so I don't know what I'll do with that. And then I got this one, which this one has got the Jedi emblem. And that's about all that's really exciting about this. I wish I could showcase these to you. I wish I could showcase these to you today. But unfortunately, I put all of my Allen wrenches in a box, and I actually don't know what box I put it in. I didn't really mark that one. It's where I do know that it's where my other blade plugs are. For those who haven't seen, I about a year or 2 ago, when I got my other Ultra Saber, the Sentinel, Dark Sentinel LE with green light. I also got blade plugs and a staff connector. I put all those in the same box with that. Anyway. So the next pickup, I got Yu Yu Hakusho season 3 and 4 at the same time. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done this otherwise. But when I was looking up season 3, it was $50 on Amazon, and when I went over to eBay, it wasn't much better. I was like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? And I just wasn't willing to pay that when, like, a week ago, it wasn't that. You know, it was like 20. And and this is $50 on DVD, mind you. This isn't on Blu-ray. This is $50 on DVD. Ridiculous. Ridiculous price jump. And then season 4 actually stayed at $20. I looked them both up, and they both stayed at $20. I got both of them for, with shipping, it came out to about $40, but I think it was like $35, so it was actually a really good deal. I wasn't willing to pay $50 for one season. I was willing to pay it for 2 seasons, but not just one. Actually, for 2 seasons, even $50 would be rip-off because, like I said, both of them were $20. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put this over in the watch pile. I'm just going to continue on with anime. I did pick up a game. Dragon Ball Super Season 3. I already mentioned what I like about the show in Season 2 when I picked up Season 2 a while ago, but sorry, this is part 4, and when I picked up Season 3, that's when I made that vlog, and I told you what I liked about it. Sorry, I thought that this was number 3 for some reason. My mind wasn't on right. Alright, and now this is not going to be the final game pickup, but it's going to be the last one I really, order from the internet and wait to come here. I'm also, like, planning not to really buy many video games, mostly because I don't want to have to find more boxes to put them in. I have this one right here open, so that, like, I can put, like, my watch later list in there when we're actually going to move, and I can maybe throw some other things in there as well, but that's actually getting kind of full. So yeah, anyway, I got Mario & Luigi Dream Team on the 3DS. This wasn't a system seller for me. It was the year of Luigi when this came out. There was like a whole bunch of things. 2013 was like a year where a whole bunch of stuff came out with like Luigi stuff. And this was like one of the ones I was like, that's cool. That's cool, let's get another sequel, but I wasn't following the series then. But yeah, I'm really excited to play this. I've been playing Partners in Time, and so far so good. And that seems to be all the pickups. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was my 3DS. For those who don't know, this is actually kind of a rarer variant, I guess. I don't really know why. I would think that a lot of Zelda fans would pick this up, but it does got a bunch of scuffs on the bottom and stuff, man. It's kind of in rough shape from just being in my pocket. That's like the one, like if I were going to do a review on this particular model, I would say that the paint job is a little cheap, but it's whatever. I'm not too worried about it, really. I don't carry it around much anymore in my pocket for that, but you only do what you can do. Basically, I just wanted to go over like my story with the 3DS. I was originally going to like script it and everything and have it all nice and neat and maybe throw in a few pictures. But the longer I wait on that, the more kind of irrelevant it becomes. 3DS was technically kind of irrelevant in 2019. That's when it kind of officially became like not really supported by Nintendo. And there's still stores selling it. I've still seen games on the shelf at like Walmart, and like, GameStop always has like a system or two before on their shelves. I've still seen DS games at GameStop. You know what I mean? So, but I just kind of wanted to say my story with the 3DS, because I watched like other people's videos about it, and it always just like, I just want to get it out there, you know? So I kind of figured why not do it in a vlog, right? So this is not the first 3DS I picked up. This is actually my third, and I will get into that. It all started back in 2011 when the 3DS first came out. And I already kind of touched upon some of this in my last vlog, but for basically like it came out and it wasn't advertised much, and that's really weird. From going from the DS to 3DS, that is really weird, because you saw commercials for the DS like all the time. And then, you know, the DSi. I saw more commercials for the DSi than I ever did for the 3DS when it first came out. You know what I mean? So there's just a lot of curiosity around it, and like I didn't watch E3, so I didn't know what was coming. And if they showed me like what it could do, and then they advertised that, I think I might have heard about it, but I didn't. But anyway, as I said, it all started with Lego Star Wars 3. Out of all of the launch titles, that was the one that caught my attention. Because at the time, I was giant into Legos and Lego Star Wars. So anyway, basically, that was the only game in the entire launch series that caught my attention. If only I'd seen like Street Fighter 4 and what that could do, I think I would have been a little more impressed. You know what I mean? Because Lego Star Wars 3 also came out for the DS, the original DS, okay? Basically, this was also kind of when Walmart just started doing their glass shelf type thing. So, what I did was, and the 3DS games for some reason were out of the glass. So what I did was I took the DS version and the 3DS version and just looked at the back. And they showed the exact same footage from it looked like the same game. Except that the 3DS version obviously had 3D capabilities, and I remember getting a little angry. I was like, Nintendo's trying to sell me and advertise a new DS, but it isn't any stronger, and it only has, and the only upgrade to it is that it has 3D capabilities. Are you serious? I put them both back, and I walked on, because I think my parents even offered that day to get me a 3DS for some reason. It was like $269. I was like, that's not worth it. Like, you know what I mean? If only I had known. I mean, at the time, I don't think it was really worth it anyway, because there was like no games out for it, and there wouldn't be for like another year. So I had actually kind of been told what the the kind of the specs of the 3DS, like basically like comparing it to like a home console. Like that's kind of how we, like, you tell me like the DS is as strong as the PlayStation, and I'll go, oh, okay, so it can play those type of games. that is the quality of the graphics and how the games will look. That's how I can expect the games to look. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. And he said, and so I was told that it was at least as strong as a GameCube, but there still wasn't really many games that I was super interested in at the time. Nothing that I'd really heard of. But my oldest brother got one. I think the only game that remotely interested me was Kid Icarus Uprising, and even then, at the time. And we were in, like, I live in Indiana. We were up in Frankfort, Michigan at the time, going on like this weekend vacation type thing, and my DS died. No, I think it. Never mind. It was my mom's DSi. Sorry, it was my mom's DSi. I did not have my DS. It was stolen at the time. Just saying. That's not really important. It's just the charging port is important here. Okay, guys. So I remember that my mom's DSi died. And then my mom just brought out this other charger. I was like, oh, or I don't remember, because there was, yeah, I think she just handed me a charger and I just kind of assumed it was hers and I just plugged it in and played it. But then when we got home, my oldest brother, who had to work that weekend, so he didn't get to go with us, he got a 3DS, and I was actually kind of excited for him, because it was like, oh, hey, show me what it can do, you know what I mean? So that was pretty neat at the time. He had the original red one. I think my little brother has it now. I'm not so sure. I think my little brother actually has like 3 of them. He actually has 4 now, come to think about it. And just off topic, I know that he has, I'm pretty sure he has my oldest brother's old red one. He has the white one that came with Mario Party, if you guys remember those. It's like a new 3DS, except it's not XL. Those were very prominent in Japan. They never really came to America for some reason. And then he has his new 2DS, and then he was gifted a 2DS. So I'm a little jealous here, because 3DS is my favorite console, right? So it's just, I'm just joking, but I am a little jealous though. That's really cool. But so then anyway. I don't remember much of it in 2012, but I know for a fact that I think actually maybe I do have a story. I don't know when really this took place, but at some point my mom got one. She got a purple one, purple original. She still has it, and I remember that it came with Super Mario 3D Land, and it was not a game seller for me. It was like, they actually started advertising it now. So they showed gameplay footage, and from what I saw, it just didn't enthrall me that much. That's kind of how my attitude toward that. So she got it, and I remember I went to like a doctor's appointment with her. There was a time in my life where I just liked going different places. I was home a lot. I was homeschooled. So I would like do even some of the most mundane things to just get out of the house sometimes. And I went to a doctor's appointment with my mom that time. And all I really had was, sorry. I didn't bring anything to do that time, which was a mistake. And so she had her 3DS, and I just kind of remember not really even asking, and just kind of like picking it up and just started playing it because I was like, you know what, fine, I'll just play you, whatever, you know, Mario, just because it's Mario, I'll play it. That was kind of my attitude toward actually playing that, and I think what impressed me most about that game is how good it looked. Because I don't remember it actually capturing me that much, but I think I was more impressed about how it looked on the 3DS. And so I beat that game, and I think I told my mom, all right, I do kind of want a DS, a 3DS, and um, so she found one on, I think it was Craigslist. That was kind of when Craigslist was kind of getting bigger, and it was either Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. That type thing was getting real popular at the time. So like, you know, Facebook had just opened up their marketplace, and Craigslist, I don't know if it had been around for a while then, but it was certainly getting into the mainstream a little bit. And so she bought me the Blue Teal Original. That was the same color of my Game Boy Advance SP, which I still have. Um, which that was something that my grandparents got me, and so I that's actually real sentimental. Um, so I thought that was a really cool thing, that, like, you know, it was like a natural evolution type thing, and, you know, I don't know, but um, so I worked to actually, because she bought it, and then I worked to earn it. I think it was around that time that Zelda Ocarina of Time started coming out, and that was the game that was like, okay, yep, I need that. You know, that one meme where he's like pointing at TV. Yeah, that was the game that got me to pick up a 3DS, and I think I'd played it like 5 times before, and I've played that one at least twice, and then I haven't beaten Master Quest yet, which I really should, but I just haven't felt a lot of motivation to actually do that for some reason. And then Link Between Worlds came out, phenomenal game. In fact, like, I hadn't played A Link to the Past before, and I knew that, like, because right around that point is when I started wanting to go back and play some of the older Nintendo games. And I knew that that meant playing A Link to the Past at some point, especially Zelda games. I wanted to play every single Zelda game. And I knew that that meant at some point I'd have to play A Link to the Past, and I really enjoyed Link's Awakening, not Link's Awakening, A Link Between Worlds, and that really got me to want to play A Link to the Past. I didn't for like another 3 years, by the way, but, you know, the seed, if you will, was planted on that. And then I remember just enjoying that game a lot. By the time that I started, around 2014, I graduated, I turned 18, I got married, and, wait, no, that was 2015, not 2014. I don't know. One of my last purchases as a single guy was this right here, and also it was a new 3DS. Around that time it started coming out, Majora's Mask, and I was like, this is my time to play Majora's Mask. I'd not done that before. I tried it, and then they told me that I could only pay attention to like 3 people at once, and then I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to remember this. I don't want to have to write down and remember where that notebook is every time I play it. So I'm just going to not play it. And so I didn't. But this one, I didn't know if they even fixed that, but I was like, because it is on the 3DS, I will do it. Oh yeah, Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers was 2014, by the way. Um, I was really excited for that one, and I remember playing it a lot during my lunch times at work, and that actually got me really good for when the Wii U, for when the Wii U version came out, and that was awesome. But anyway, going back to the other story, I just knew that that was like my time to play Majora's Mask 3D because like the 3DS had become kind of my favorite handheld console, and I knew it at that point. I also started buying some virtual console games at that point. I think at that point, um, actually, I don't think I had any. If I had any, it would have been Mega Man 2, Gunman, I think it's called Gunman Clive 1, and AVGN Adventures. Those would be like the three virtual console games I would have had at that point, I think. But I don't really remember when I actually bought the virtual console games. I don't really add those into vlogs either. I really should, because they are valid. But I just don't think of them. After I beat Majora's Mask, I started really trying to go back, and I started using my 3DS as kind of a kind of an emulator. I would buy officially the Nintendo games and play them that way. I play like listing all of the games that I have on my new 3DS. Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 2. Okay, Super Mario Brothers 2 or Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels, and Super Mario Brothers 2 or Super Mario USA, whatever you want to go with. I like calling it Super Mario Brothers 2 and Super Mario USA because that's the way Japan calls it. But then Solomon's Key, which that's one that my parents really like, and I have actually had a lot of fun playing it too. Adventures of Lolo, which I've heard is a phenomenal game, and it really is. There's like not much replay value in it, but it's actually a really good one. And I can't remember. I have all the Zelda. I have all the Zelda GBA games on there too. Link's Awakening, Ages, and Seasons. I have Mega Man 2, as I did kind of mention that. I have Mega Man 2. There are a few others on there. I also have, like I said, a game named Gunman Clive, which that's a really fun platformer, pretty challenging. And then Gunman Clive 2, which I don't know what the hell that one was trying to do. And then I also have AVGN Adventures, as I said. But I think that's it. If I think of another one, I'll let you know. But I accumulated those on my 3DS Virtual Console over about 5 years now. And then what other games have I picked up? And then from basically then on, it's just been like I haven't really bought games because they're new when they come out. It's more of like I didn't know that it was on the 3DS, and like Resident Evil Revelations. If I didn't play Resident Evil 4 for the Wii, and then watch like a Metal Jesus video on hidden gems for the 3DS, I probably wouldn't know that some of these even exist. Which, by the way, Resident Evil Revelations is like probably one of the best third-party games I've ever played on the 3DS. Again, it'd be really easy to do this because then I could like go through my collection and just be like, okay, so this, and then this, and then this. But other games I remember playing is it's called Epic Mickey Castle of Illusion or something like that, and it's actually a sequel to a Sega Genesis game, which is on the Sega Genesis Mini. So I just thought that was pretty interesting, and it's also a sequel to the Epic Mickey games. I remember playing Chibi Robo Ziploc or whatever, and I wasn't, I just wasn't getting into it. And then Hey Pikmin, again, I wasn't really getting into that one. Pokemon Moon was the first Pokemon game I had been excited for since Diamond and Pearl. And I saw Black, I saw the designs of the Pokemon, and the only one that stood out to me in Black and White was the pig. Because the pig could roast itself. Come on, why wasn't that a joke? The pig can literally make its own bacon. Sorry. I thought it was a funny joke. Everyone tries to correct me. Well, it's fireproof. It's still a pig that can make its own bacon. Anyway. And then X and Y, I saw the designs, and I don't even know what they were trying to do. They had the Firefox, and I really don't know why. Like, when you put, like, if it was like a grass fox, odd choice, but I could see it. I just don't like it when they take an animal and have it like the same type, you know what I mean? So like Fox and like Vulpix and the fire starter from X and Y. It's like you have Vulpix, then why do you need this new one? Why didn't you like make her water or something or grass instead? Bring a little originality. That does kind of go back to Diamond and Pearl as well. I mean, like, flying bird, you know, making, like, the normal bird Pokemon, that has always made sense, you know, so as long as you change up the design, like, going from Pidgey to even Spearow, well, that's full flying, that's flying normal, but, the Woodpecker from Sun and Moon, whatever the heck kind of bird Sterling is, those, like, I don't mind that because it's the same animal, but you can tell that it's a different, you know what I mean? It's a different type of bird, and plus, what else are you gonna have as a flying type? Like, you know, a lot of birds look different, and you know, you could tell me that a lot of foxes look different, and that's true too, but I don't know. It's just like with birds, they at least come up with cool and different designs. And the Firefox is like, why didn't you just create a third form for Vulpix? Or again, you know, change the typing of that Pokemon. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I mean, it kind of does. It does to some people. But that's just my opinion on that. I don't think it really, you know, it doesn't change anything. I do not have X and Y. They don't interest me. I think I like the French aesthetic, but it's still not interesting enough to, you know, get me to actually do it. One thing that I was a little disappointed on the 3DS was the lack of Star Wars games. And this is all because of you, EA. So around 2012, we already know the story. Luke Disney bought Star Wars, yada yada yada. No Star Wars games, but like the DS had like 3 or 4 of them. And like I know that, you know, I just complained about that, but you could have brought like the PSP games over to the 3DS, gave them like, you know, gave them second screen, you know, gave them maps on the bottom screen, gave them, you know, 3D capabilities, and boom, you could sell a whole bunch of Star Wars games just like that for people like me who miss the PSP. So I'm just saying that was an option that they could have gone with and they didn't. makes me wonder why they didn't, though. I wonder if that was a licensing issue because of LucasArts. But yeah. Anyway, so bringing it up to date, I've been obviously collecting them because almost in every one of these vlogs there is at least one 3DS game, and I'm hoping to keep collecting for it for as long as even like a couple more years. Like I don't plan on buying bulk games, and like honestly, you know, things that are considered shovelware, or things that I personally consider shovelware, I don't plan on picking up. But yeah. So yeah. So what I've already told you what I've been playing. I've been playing Partners in Time in here. This is actually dead right now. And then I'm going to tell you, kind of show you what games I am going to play, and I'm probably going to do like vlog reviews on them because like I don't mind doing like what I did with the Wario Land 2 and 3 where I just showed pictures. It just kind of takes a lot of looking to find the pictures because it's not like this is the only 3DS I have. And oh yeah, I said I was going to get to that. But yeah. So anyway, so before I do this, I actually need to tell you that. So what happened? Okay. What happened to the teal one was the B button was going out, and actually by that point I was using it as an MP3 player exclusively. And it did its job really well. Like, for that, it was amazing. But the B button started to go out, and I was like... And it just wasn't worth it to save it for me. And so I sold it to them, told them the B button is going out. They gave me money for it, and I walked away. And I'm kicking myself in the face because I really want that one back. I should have just fixed it. I don't plan on buying like a ton of variants. I just plan on buying like the different types. So like 3DS, 3DS XL, new 3DS XL, new 3DS, new 2DS XL, and 2DS. Sounds like a lot. Really isn't when you consider the fact that these things have, like, the new 3DS alone has like 50 different skins. Probably more than that. But, so then the other one I bought in 2015, throw Mega Man in there somewhere, because I did buy the Mega Man Collection 1 for that. I played that after, like, almost right after I played Majora's Mask. And, I also, like, kind of remember, like, getting really angry at Majora's Mask and not playing anything for, like, 5 months. Not because I just got so discouraged with Majora's Mask because of, like, the second dungeon. I missed one thing, and I didn't feel like going back and doing it all again. But anyway, the second one, I decorated with Mega Man stickers. The thing is, I don't like doing that. I do not like putting stickers on things because a lot of these things are temporary, and if by chance I want to sell them, then it kind of devalues it sometimes. It can devalue it. And so I personalized this 3DS. I made it mine. The same thing, and actually the reason why I do not like putting stickers on consoles is because of the original DS. When I was a kid, we bought Darth Vader stickers for the DS Lite. We put them on, and I was excited. It came with 2 Star Wars stylists, and, like, you know, it blew my mind as a kid. That was stolen twice. One time it was a big deal, and the next time it was just like, well, that's gone again. Which is really sad. But anyway, I'm over it. Being over it doesn't mean it doesn't leave psychological crap. But anyway, but because of that, because it felt like I customized that DS. It felt like, I don't know. It's like when you're working on a car or something, you know, you do something to it that just kind of makes it yours. Like you put the stickers on the car and, you know, like it feels like your vehicle then. And that's just how it felt like with that DS. And after that was gone, I just didn't like doing that to anything ever again. So I did this to this 3DS, right? I put Mega Man stickers on in great places so it looked official. Yeah. It could have at least passed for like knew what I was doing, I guess, if you want to, you know. Um and I kind of told the story last time as well, but what was going on was I went over to my in-laws' house on like a Sunday, and then I think we were hurrying home because my oldest brother was coming over. I don't exactly remember what was going on, but I do remember me and my wife had just had our third kid, and we were just kind of getting into the swing of things. You know, I had the baby. She was trying to get the other two to come inside the house, but I left my bag, right? I didn't think I left my bag. Okay? So, me and my brother, this might have even been on a Saturday that part happened when I left my bag in the car, because I remember me and my oldest brother actually stayed up to like 2 o'clock that night. And on like a Sunday night, I wouldn't have done that. So I think that part was on a Saturday. And then the next morning, but anyway. So yeah, he came over, we were rushing, I left the bag in the car. I believe that we ended up at my parents' house on Saturday or something, so we rushed back to hang out with my oldest brother. And I think what happened was the next morning we went all the way back over into the next town over to visit my in-laws, and I kind of remember actually taking my bag inside their house. So I think what actually happened was I did it twice, where I left my bag in the car and I left the van unlocked, because Monday morning I was panicking. I was looking for it. I was like, okay, it's not in here. Drove to work, called my wife and said, hey, is it home? You know, do you see the bag anywhere? Can you check downstairs? Can you check this there? And I even called my in-laws and said, hey, did I leave it at your house? I called my parents to ask if they had seen it, and that bag was stolen, and the bag I had it in was stolen, and they got another bag with a whole bunch of DVDs in it. Like we have a portable DVD player in our van. It doesn't work anymore, but they got a whole bunch of DVDs and my 3DS. And like I said in my last video, they also got with it. They took like several review videos, which by the way, Sonic Generations is in there somewhere, because I was actually going to review that game. That was going to be the next game that I reviewed. I had footage for it and everything, and I knew what I was going to say, and then I was going to do Mario Maker right after that. I was planning on reviewing every 3DS game I could, and I would record footage. You know, I wouldn't do it like a capture card, but I would do footage and everything, and that, they cranked the toilet, and it all just went down, and so there went all my reviews. I had like, not all of them were DS games because I had like Sonic 1, Sonic 2. I don't think I got to write Sonic 3 yet. I was going to do just kind of like a few Sonic games in there as well for some reason. Probably because I just played Sonic Generations. But, yeah. Anyway, bringing it back to a higher note. So I didn't have a 3DS game to play from April to December. What I did with that time was, I think I mostly brought my Game Boy Advance SP to work with me. And, I was playing Mega Man Battle Network Red Sun, which is the one I have. My little brother at one point had Blue Moon. Not that that matters. I also played Mario versus Donkey Kong. And I also read a couple Star Wars novels. I remember doing that the most during that year. Oh yeah, something else that I was doing. Dragon Ball Abridged. I made that Dragon Ball Abridged video in that year. It was just a perfect excuse, I think. Basically, what reminded me of the Dragon Ball video was my editing software was going bonk. It's not a very good Pinnacle Studio. Do not get it. It's simple, which I like. It's very simple, very easy to grasp, but it is just trash. But there was just still like this sadness, like almost throughout the year, that they stole my 3DS, my personalized 3DS with like 11. It was like, I think it had 7 3DS games and 3DS games in there. Because I had Pokemon Black 2, and I had Heart Gold, which was actually my oldest brother's copy. And I was really looking forward to playing that because I've never played Sun and Gold before. And then I don't remember what other game there was. It might have been Pokemon Diamond. I think it was Pokemon Diamond that was in there. Because I was planning on replaying that one. So yeah. Those are gone. And basically, Christmas time comes. My parents bought me a laptop. My littlest brother threw I heard that he threw the most money at that gift, and that means a lot. I didn't have editing software, but I had a new laptop that could supposedly run editing software. So I got a new laptop, and I was so happy about that. I got a new bag to carry said laptop. I don't use it for my laptop, but I got a new bag to replace the old one. And then that's where I got this. My wife and my parents threw money at this because they knew how much the other one meant to me. How much the system means to me. And then they also got me a case, which they stole my Star Wars case. I'm going to throw a picture of that right up there. You stole my case, man. But I also got, it's got, the Zelda engraving. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's got this neat Zelda engraving. This one doesn't hold as many games, but, it's still awesome. I also have another Zelda bag, and that one is like a pouch that, it doesn't really work that well unless you super glue it, but you can put it on a belt and carry it like a pouch. So that's pretty cool. So getting to the games that are in here to play in the future. The case came with these, which are just plastic
much like the original DS, and they actually can hold original DS games. So I got Fire Emblem Echoes in here to play in the future. And New Super Mario Brothers 2. Again, I've heard good things about that one. A little samey, but whatever. Force Unleashed, which I did beat, but I put the case in a box, so it's kind of stuck with me. Oh yeah, there's one more. Lego Star Wars 3. Pretty excited to play that one. Unfortunately, I'm not able to play Lego Star Wars Complete Saga because my DS Lite is also in there. And that had that game. But anyway. And then, yeah, the next Mario and Luigi game after Partners in Time. And then there's Dream Team, which I'm playing on. It's actually still sealed. It's just because I have like all of this other stuff in there that I have. And it sounds like a lot, but I think, but from what I've heard, most of these games take like maybe 20 hours. So it's, 20 hours when you just say it like that, it sounds a lot, but for a game it's really not. Most modern games now are like 40 to 50 hours. Some of them even reach in the hundreds. So 20 hours really isn't that much, But yeah. So I think that's about it this time, you guys. Thank you for listening to my story, and you know what? I want you to leave a comment down below of like maybe your story with the 3DS. I'd really appreciate that. It's my favorite portable console. Even when you put it up next to the Switch, I just like the 3DS games better. Although, the only thing, don't tell my 3DS this, but the only thing that I've thought about replacing on my 3DS and getting it for the Switch was Resident Evil Revelations. Just because like I heard that it like runs a little better on the Switch than on the 3DS, but it's still a phenomenal game on 3DS. Like, I wouldn't pick up a Switch just for that port of the game, right? Yeah, this was a fun video. I'm actually having a really fun time recording it. So, this is Axelmyth, guys, and I bid you all a fond farewell.